guys, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some fictional book recommendations. So without any further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay, you guys, book number one on our list is Breast and Eggs by Miko Kawakami. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I love this book a lot. I read it at the beginning of 2025, I think. Yeah, I think I've read this book at the beginning of last year, and since then I've read every Miko Kawakami book. I've just fallen in love with her as an author. But this is my number one book from all the other books that she's written. But yeah, this is one of my favorite books from all the other books that she's written. I even annotated an entire copy and gifted it to my friend. That's how much I love this book. To have read it over 5 times in the past year and to have gifted one of my friends an annotated copy, which I feel like if you're a reader, you know how big of a deal that is. But anyways, we follow these three female characters living in the suburbs of Tokyo, and there's a 30-year-old Natsuko, her older sister Makiko, and Makiko's teenage daughter Midoriko. So already with the different age groups and timelines, we see that we're going to be following three wonderful women at different stages of life, and we're going to see their struggles. Now, this book specifically explores family dynamics, motherhood, body image issues, and most importantly, the kind of struggle society puts on women. Now, this book made me feel very seen in the sense that the struggles that are explored in the book were something that not a lot of people talk about. And yeah, it's a beautiful book. It's very enriching to your soul. It makes you feel emotional. It makes you feel seen, not just in the sense that your struggles are seen, but also makes you feel seen in the now I feel like I sound very dense, but I mean it in the way that growing up you feel like nobody else is going through the struggles you're going through, or that your family or your mom or your aunts are not understanding the kind of struggles you go through, but it just makes you understand that every female is going through similar issues at different life stages, and that it's okay. And it's okay. It's simply what this book made me feel was, without giving too much away, is that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling and it's completely valid. Now, there's this line at the beginning of the book that as soon as I read it, I instantly knew that I'm going to be falling in love with this book. And it's not a big of a spoiler, so here it is. Dear Journal, okay, so I've been eating eggs for my whole life, but today I learned that women have ova, as in ovals, which literally means eggs. How is it possible I knew about sperm first? That doesn't seem fair. Anyways, when I read that, it made me think of my childhood in retrospect, how in biology class in middle school we were taught about sperm first, even though eggs are such a big part of the reproduction system. I know it's like very stupid to talk about it right now, but it's such a big deal, and it like rages me to think that it's not taught about enough in schools. Like there are sometimes like topics like perimenopause and menopause that I'm learning in my 20s, which I didn't even have an idea about in school. And I feel like that's the important things. Like, we're taught about male pattern baldness in middle school, which there's no like, what are we gonna do about like, I feel like, what are we gonna do with the information of male pattern baldness in middle school? But perimenopause, menopause is a topic that should be taught of enough, because our mothers, our aunts, our grandmothers, us ourselves are going to go through it at some point of time. And even if you're like a male child, I feel like it's important to make them understand what these hormonal changes are early in life, so that they, I don't know. You know what, you guys, I can go on and on about this and just like stutter for an hour because I will be so full of rage. But yeah, that's my first recommendation, which is Breasts and Eggs by Miko Kawakami. Book number two on my list is Almond, a novel. This is by Won Pyong Song. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. But this was one of the first few books that actually made me cry while reading it. Now, I'm not a deeply emotional person in the sense that I cry every time I watch a movie or cry every time I read a book. But this was one of the first few books that did make me cry. We follow the character Yoonjae, who is born with like a medical brain condition called alexithymia, which basically means that it's difficult for him to process fear and anger or feel fear and anger. And we just go through his entire journey in this book. It's a very emotional book. I will give like a trigger warning, not into a lot of heavy topics. You might not want to read this book, but if you love those kind of dramatic books, you might love this, because I this has been on my top 5 for the longest time, and I feel like this book was so bold. um because I've never read an author write about something so deeply and in such a graphic way. Like, there were moments in this book where I could actually picture and imagine what was happening, and it got very scary for me and got very emotional for me. So, yeah, for that reason, I really like this book. I feel like I'm smiling and I'm, giving recommending this book with a smiling face, even though I know it's gonna like emotionally wreck a lot of people. But yeah, that's my second recommendation. I'm trying to fly through these recommendations if you can't tell. Now, I recently got into a lot of fantasy fiction, and one of the books that really stuck with me and I really thoroughly enjoyed was Memory Police. Now, you might have heard about this book, you might have not heard about this book. It was really popping, like on my feed at least, and that's the reason why I bought it, because the synopsis really like caught my eye. Now, the Memory Police, to put it simply, without any spoilers, is that there is this town with the memory police, and they basically take away your memories so that you no longer remember them. So it's like there's a town where there were birds at one point, but then something happened, and the memory police came and took away the memory of the birds. So there are no longer birds in the city, but you don't even remember that they were birds because the memory police took it away. I know it's very like, I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be. It's not. It's a wonderful book. I'm not going to be able to do it justice in explaining without spoiling the plot for you, but we have this woman who finds out something about the memory police, and she's trying to forget it, but it's not happening, and it's like this whole ordeal. And yeah, it was just a very weird book, but I have not read a fantasy fiction like this before, and I feel like if you're into the genre, you will love it. I'm trying to like think of things that I can say to you without spoiling the plot, but nothing comes to mind. So just take my word and read The Memory Police. You will love it regardless. Okay, back by popular demand, and the popular demand was mine. After I read Breast and Eggs was All the Lovers in the Night by Miko Kawakami. This book is the kind of book that you want to read while you're on the go, while you're living your mundane life. So we follow Fuyuko, who's living in Tokyo, and she's like a freelance proofreader, and she struggles with with social anxiety, with isolating herself, with past trauma, and basically just maintaining and keeping relationships. And then she meets these two beautiful people who try to change her perspective of life. And yeah, it's just like a lot of topics are covered where she questions life, and it's just like a very slice of life kind of book. And if you like that kind of movies and shows, I think you will enjoy this book, because there's a lot of questioning of life and questioning of why this is and why that is, and why do we need to do certain things. And it just makes you again feel very seen. I feel like it's a theme with Miko Kawakami novels, where her stories are very slice of life and try to make you feel seen in this huge world. And I feel like that's why I enjoy it, because it feels very comforting to read, even though it's like so true to real life. There's like not a lot of fiction in that sense, where it's not like a lot of fairies and magical cats, but it's real and it's raw, and that's why it makes sense, and that's why you love it, simply put. Now, going off the little list I have here of genres, I'm going to be recommending a romance novel, or like a rom com, which is very unlike me. Because if you've been following me for a while, the only romance novels that I really like rom com books that I read, are like The Summer I Turned Pretty. Yeah, I think I have a little problem of where I can't like read romance as a genre. I'm trying to get more into it, but the next book that I have here will be really fun to read for you. The next book that I have here is The 7 Year Slip. Again, it's like highly popular on Book Talk, so you might have heard about this already. But if you haven't, it's literally what the name suggests, The 7 Year Slip. So we have Clementine who moves into a relative's apartment and suddenly wakes up one day to find like a random man in her apartment, and the timelines just don't match, and they fall for each other, and then the timeline shifts again, and then it's like this whole thing of how do I find that man now in this era, in this timeline. And it's just really, it's a kind of book that makes you giggle, and it makes you like get butterflies in your stomach, which I don't get a lot. So the fact that I got for this is why I'm recommending the book. And yeah, just read it, okay? Don't do that to me, just read it. The next book that we have here is Misinterpretation. This was also in the long list of the Booker Prize in 2025, and that's the reason why I picked it up. Now, we follow an Albanian interpreter who lives in New York, and she has this habit of getting entangled in her client's life struggles and like life story. So it's just one of those stories where you follow her and like the kind of dark path she goes down. Now, there's this like review of the book in the beginning. Here's what the review says. Ruminative and propulsive misinterpretation interrogates the darker legacies of family and country and the boundaries between compassion and self preservation. Uh, Again, I feel like it's kind of a fail, like my book recommendations, in the sense that I cannot spoil a lot. Like I can spoil a lot if I give too much away, but I don't want to do that. So it's literally just like a book recommendation, and you can, like, I gave you the synopsis of all these books, and if any of these books feel like interesting to you, then maybe you should just give it a read, because trust me, you will enjoy at least one of these books. And they're all different genres. I try to make it like a wide variety of book recommendations, and these are just some of the books that I've read in the past like 5 years that I have thoroughly enjoyed and finished in like a week, which is a big deal. And yeah, if you like this video, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. It's free. Subscribing is free, so I feel like everyone should just do it. And yeah, if you have any book recommendations for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you very, very soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.